Hey everyone, this is Coach Marco once again coming at you for the CrossFit Madera podcast. Woohoo! During today's intro, we have a few sponsors to get through, so bear with me. First, we'd like to thank Riddex Pest Control here in Madera. Riddex Pest Control is your local exterminator offering affordable and effective pest control services, including termite inspections, bedbug removal, and more. For more information, please call Riddex Pest Control here in Madera at 559-674-7695. We are also sponsored by Rio Acai Bowls. Rio Acai. Couriers will now leave food at your door and text and call you when it has arrived. So order now and get your free delivery with no added fees. Rio Acai is located in Fresno, California at 1915 Fulton Street. So get yourself some acai today. All right, now that we got sponsors out of the way, I am joined here today by Chloe and and Lupe.
Hi.
So, okay, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? We'll go from left to right and tell everybody at home a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, so I'm Chloe. Most of you know me as the front desk receptionist. I'm going to school right now at Fresno State. I want to become a physical therapist. That's basically it. I'm a Virgo.
Yeah, there you go.
So my name's Guadalupe. I go by Lupe mostly. And I'm actually new to Madera. I just moved last year in July and just started coming here to CrossFit in March. So just wanted to test it out and sort of get my endurance up for some tests that I had.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about those tests?
So I'm actually in the process for the police academy at Fresno City. So I just finished those preliminary tests, passed them, written exam, physical test, all thanks to CrossFit Madera.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's how we are so far right now. Still got to go through orientation stuff, getting placed and all that stuff. So
that's awesome though. How'd you feel going into those tests?
The written exam, pretty easy peasy, nothing too worrisome. The physical one, the only thing I was like a little hesitant or at least, wanting to prepare for was that 165-pound dummy drag. And, I was right to be worried about it because it was heavy. I think it was solid.
Yeah.
And not going to lie, I messed up my back. So it's good to know I didn't mess up my back for nothing.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, everything else was good. The test itself was pretty easy. The only downside was it took forever because there were about 100 people there. So it took forever segmenting people, going off in groups and doing all that stuff. So, yeah.
So how does that process work? So like after those tests, what's your next step?
Well, according to my emails, they set you up with orientation stuff to know what to expect for upcoming academies, and they have different ones. So there's a June one, a September, and then January, and that's what they have currently for this year. And then next year, they'll just start that process in 2022. But for this year, what they've told, my group, I guess, they have to arrange a date to see, if we're going to be ready to go into June or if they need to put people on kind of a waiting list to go into September. And it's all just based on placements. Yeah, I'm still kind of new to it because I wasn't really expecting to go into the police academy. I just decided to do it.
Randomly?
Spontaneously?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
didn't go to school for it. I just decided I'm gonna do it.
What motivated you? What drove that decision?
A large part of it is, the current climate with what's going on, and I just wanted to be on the right side of that justice.
Yeah.
People talk about, where are those good cops that want to actually stand up and do what's right. I'd like to be able to say that I was one of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing to hear, honestly. I have a friend from Dos Palos who is in a similar position
Mhm.
where, you know, during the whole thing that was happening last year, there was a lot of there's a lot of like debate going on in her mind of like, you know, how should I feel, you know, because she's African American and just with everything going on, she's also like in training to be a police officer, so she didn't really know how to feel. But it's really great to see a positive come out of, you know, the horrific situations that have occurred throughout the last year. That's awesome, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think they were expecting a lot of people to show up either, because they even said it kind of just randomly, oh, you guys all showed up. So I think that's either a good thing or, you know, something that we'll have to see later on.
Yeah.
A lot of people, just random, not a lot of people are like mingling, just like, you know, hey, pep talks, like, oh, can't wait to do what's coming up next, all that stuff. And it's all essentially the same, you know, yeah, I can't wait to do this, and, you know, just to do good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you want to know? What
sorry.
else besides that?
So, you know, we'll circle back to that, but
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your family life.
Okay. So, yeah, I've grown up here in the Central Valley. I'm actually from Kalinga, an hour and a half south. And, you know, grew up there, born, raised, all that stuff. Family were immigrants from Mexico, naturalized, and I come from a big family. I'm an 8th child out of my family. I'm the 6th sister, so I'm the youngest of my
Wow.
family. So, big family, lots of kids, siblings, all that stuff. Friends, everyone are pretty much in Kalinga still, kind of scattered throughout the valley. And, you know, grew up there, spent my time there, came to Fresno for college, did my schooling there, and then moved here. But it all pretty much started here in the valley. I got married really young. I got married out of high school, my high school sweetheart, and we've been together ever since. We had our first daughter in 2019, and yeah, that's kind of where we are now. Essentially, all
awesome.
summed up.
That's awesome. What did you end up going to school for in Fresno
So
originally?
I was going for health. I did want to go pre-med. I just got really intimidated by those grad school tuition costs.
Yeah.
So I figured, you know, I can do that anytime. I figure, why not do something new? And here I am doing the police academy, and then I figure if I can do that, then I can always just go back to school for med.
Yeah.
That's my situation kind of right now too, because I'm in pre-health right now, and it's kind of frustrating because right now I'm taking, you know, general ed, but eventually I'm going to have to go to graduate school because I have to go to school for 7 years. So that part's kind of stressing me out because I also don't know if I necessarily want to stay at Fresno State, even though they have a good program. I don't know if I really want to live here my whole life. So I kind of wanted to start going to grad schools outside of the state, but I look at those costs and I'm just like, this is so expensive, and I don't necessarily know if I want to be working a job and paying back student loans for like 5 to 10 years.
The thing, like looking back, going through, you know, undergrad and looking back, is just do your best in undergrad. Yeah. When you have like really good grades, you get into a good internship program, you can kind of go anywhere. And if you do have a really good choice to go anywhere, go somewhere low income. Most likely they have like tuition forgiveness programs when you're working in underserved areas. So you'll probably only have to work to pay off for only like a fraction of it.
Okay.
Because I did, when I was going to undergrad, I wanted to go physician assistant. And I did actually get the chance to work with some. And they said they went to school, I think somewhere on the coast. I don't remember. CSU on the coast, and then they went to UCLA, and then they did a program with some other private school. And when they came to the Valley, they obviously chose a job somewhere where it's kind of rural. And yeah, they got into a program that helped them pretty much pay their tuition off. So don't get too stressed about tuition, but at the same time, it is something to consider.
Yeah.
I think where you're at now kind of shows too that no matter where you think you're going to go in life, you can decide one day to just make this leap of faith.
Yeah.
And your lifestyle completely changes.
Yeah, no, I dipped into like a little of everything, a little of nursing, a little into like provider life, even into like paramedics. I did a couple classes with that and ride along. So I know a little bit of everything. So.
Yeah.
But I think that's so important, is just kind of trying everything. Because especially since I'm in college right now, I've had friends who've changed their majors like 3 times already because they take these classes and then they realize, oh wait, this is not what I want to do. Like, this is not what I thought it was. It's not as it seems. I don't like it. It's not for me. But I think it's good to experiment with, you know, those different career paths or like opportunities, because you never really know what's truly gonna like fit for you or work for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that comes with time, seeing what you like, seeing your dislikes. Just getting to know yourself, because when you're young in high school, you think you know what you know. But then life comes at you and you have a lot more interests.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think I started school. I mean, I was undecided for like 2 years before I even knew what the fuck I wanted to do. And then I thought I wanted to do kines because I was working out here, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, I love everything like physical and stuff. And then they threw biology my way. And I was like, no, man.
That's what I'm struggling with right now, because I have to take biology, chemistry, and physics.
I hate it.
I'm just like, what?
I appreciate science and all its contributions to society, but I can't do it. I'm not.
I can't either.
I love science.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The thing that was really my Achilles heel is math. You know, trying to do differentials and all that stuff. Yeah, you can shoot me in the foot.
Yeah.
I'd rather just...
Math is hard for most people, though. I struggle with math. I'm okay with certain math, like maybe like algebra, and I'm taking stats this year, and I'm actually pretty decent at stats. Like, I understand it. So stats and algebra, that's about it. Nothing else.
I think I was good at stats because a lot of it was kind of like theoretical, honestly.
Yeah.
So I've always been good with theory. I have my associates in communication, oddly enough. I started kines, and then I went journalism, and then I was still like, the thing is at Fresno City, it's kind of all the same thing. So if you go, it's not, but it is. A lot of the classes overlap. So I went the journalism route, but ended up focusing more in communication and public speaking. And that's why my associates is in. And then when I went for my BA, I ended up more along the multimedia route, which is how I know how to use all this crap, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm still working on that BA. I'll probably go back at some point for it. But for now, I'm working here and just, you know, experiencing everything there is to experience here. I forgot what my point was.
I don't know. I thought you were just like expanding more. I don't know.
Maybe that was it. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm trying to think like what you started it as.
So yourself in 5 years.
Yeah.
What are you?
Who knows,
what are you expecting of yourself?
Who knows? I mean, honestly, I've talked a lot about it with Bo, and this year I'm expecting to take on a whole lot more leadership here at the gym. That's honestly like my main goal right now. My main goal is to grow this gym, and grow this podcast, and just grow in general. And I think after that we'll see where it leads. You know, I'm not good friends, but I know the mayor, Santos. I did a little bit of work for him when I was working for the Madera Chamber of Commerce. I train a district supervisor right now. So, you know, I'm not into politics, but it's kind of like you said, you know, with the whole police officer thing. Like, I want to see a change in my community. I would
Mhm.
love to walk through, because I'm from Madera,
Mhm.
born and raised here my whole life. I would love to walk through downtown, and it's not that I don't want to see homeless people. Like, I just want them out of there. I want them to be walking around. I want to give them all jobs. I want a better Madera for everybody.
Mhm.
I want the river to be clean. You know,
Yeah.
There was water there once. There hasn't
Yeah,
been there in a
actually.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not in a while.
Not in a while. But it's all complicated stuff, and I'm not a political person. I don't see myself as someone right now who, definitely not right now, definitely not in the next 5 years. I don't want any sort of role in local politics, but definitely like community drives, stuff like that. Stuff that I've had the opportunity to do thanks to CrossFit Madera. Like when everything shut down, Chris and Bo did like a food drive.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that was a really big deal. Obviously, I couldn't contribute because I'm, not a business owner like they are, but it was an absolute pleasure and an honor for me to use my video skills to kind of, draw attention to that and help with the donations. And we actually did a little bit of collaboration with Sugar Pine, um, helping take foods to a lot of the little northern towns in the hills when those fires were really,
Really
really,
bad.
really
Right.
bad.
Hmm.
So just, you know, dipping my toes in everything right now and kind of seeing, where I can grow. I don't know if I'll be in Madera forever, but at least while I'm here, I want to make it a better place to be for a lot of people.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah. I can feel that sentiment. Just wanting to give back, do something.
Yeah. What made you choose CrossFit as a means of training for the police academy?
I consider myself to be like a decent, out of season athlete in high school. Did the whole year round sports, all that good stuff. And I just know my body well and that I perform a little bit better when someone's coaching me. I'm in an environment where I can kind of, compete ish, sort of, even though it's been a long time since I've done any of that. And even more so being postpartum, it's, a lot more different. And my husband, he's the one that's actually been a little bit more active out of high school. He did a little bit of MMA. He actually did some amateur fighting.
Wow.
So whenever I'd go to his practices, they could let me just do stuff on the side, do a little kickboxing, whatever. And I don't know, I just like that whole mentality. I've done the whole gym, machines, doing stuff on my own, all that stuff. And you just feel kind of bored after a while,
Yeah.
doing stuff, going through the motions.
It definitely starts to
and-
feel like you're getting burnt out because after a while it's like, what else can I do? Like, I've used every machine in this place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For me, well, since this was like before the pandemic and stuff, when I was going to the gym, it just got boring or the machines were like all full because I went to the one at Fresno State and that gym is always packed.
Yeah.
So it was like having to play a waiting game, going around laps in the gym, like the indoor track, all that stuff. And, there's only so much you can do or want to do because people will be at the machines for like a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then trying to manage schedules like school, classes, other like work, intern stuff. So it just got kind of pushed back on the burner. I wasn't, too worried about like my fitness. I would go on like just runs or walks, and that was most of the extent of it. But since getting, my application in and going through the process of the police, I just wanted to make sure I had really good competitive scores.
Yeah.
That's really what it was.
Now, that first day, I always kind of ask people about it because, everyone has a different experience. There are people who come in here and they've been doing CrossFit. So the first day, maybe they take a look at the workout and they're like, what is this? In my box, we do power cleans all day. Why are you guys doing box step overs?
Yeah.
Something a little bit less CrossFit-y. I think when you came in, that's what the program was a little bit more geared toward. My question to you is, that first day and that first week, what were your first impressions of the gym?
Really inclusive. I really like that there's a lot of different levels and just areas that people can work on. It wasn't completely high intense workout energy everywhere. What my husband usually did at the Fresno gym. So I was like, oh dang. I went to a CrossFit gym in Clovis, and oh man, I threw up halfway through the workout when I tried to do it. So I was like, oh damn. And they were like, keep going, you can do it. And so like, okay. But, coming here, it's still an intense workout, but you can at least kind of feel proud about yourself wherever you are in your like fitness level journey. And that's kind of how I've been and to now. I've kind of gotten to know my strengths as they're developing and, trying to improve where I need to.
Chloe, you got anything?
No, I can kind of agree though, because I've obviously never done CrossFit either. The most I've done is like sports in high school, having a coach there. We would just go in the weight room, do like a hour to 2 hour workout. I stayed away from like heavy lifting or any type of stuff like that. Most of the workouts that we do here that aren't like Olympic lifting are things I did in high school. But as far as the lifting, I never really did that in high school because it was quite common for kids to get injured. I injured myself many times trying to attempt that. But that's why I was a little skeptical at first coming here, because I was like, I don't know, they're all going to be these buff people. And then I saw people do it and I was like, oh, I can do that. And I just felt included, and you do feel like you can go your own pace, and you feel proud of yourself for completing that workout in your own like fitness level. Like you don't necessarily, there is like a sense of competition still, but you don't necessarily feel like you're pressured to do a certain amount or perform a certain way.
I think today actually I told everybody to go like light. Was that weird for you to hear?
No.
Okay.
I always try to tell myself to go light. I want to work on my form.
Good. And we had just gone heavy too, on the lift. So I think the conditioning pieces are where you want to go lighter. But tracking back to what you said about everything being inclusive, I think that's part of what takes away a little bit of that intimidation factor, because you walk into some CrossFit gyms. And again, I'm not knocking any other CrossFit gyms because, I'd love to, hop in on the workout at any of our, local affiliates. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you look at the board and you're like, oh, you guys are doing Murph. You guys are doing a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and another mile run. And it's not Memorial Day. You guys are just doing that on a Monday. There's a lot of gyms like that where, I just did the level 1 seminar and they were really trying to push that like high intensity on people, people who maybe were at like their breaking point where, hey, maybe that person shouldn't be pushing it. But I do feel like here we take the simple and we tell you to make it hard. We're not doing... we do snatches on our workouts, but how many times do we do snatches at 95 and 135?
Not often.
Yeah, those are the typical standard weights for men and women. Is 135 on the bar for men, 95 for women. I would never ask that of members because I'm not going to do 135. Hell no. And as far as inclusivity and diversity goes in the classes, what do you make of the diverse group of people who you get to work out with?
Well, for sure, 630 is definitely the one that gave me a good first impression, just because the whole, everyone's a little bit more lively, ready to engage the workout and just get everyone pumped. I've actually been to like a couple of the other classes. The 6 o'clock was definitely also a little bit hype, but man, it sucks for me to wake up that early.
Yeah.
I have a toddler. She does not sleep through the night, so that was like not fun to do that workout the next day. But throughout the day, morning is good. as the summer approaches, those evening classes are going to be killer.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely the people, what it comes down to. It all helps make the workout either pass by a little bit better, or you kind of just have to go through it by yourself.
I can attest to that. I always feel comfortable doing the workouts with the 6:30. That's also the only time I can really do, honestly.
Yeah.
But I just like the 6:30 because there wasn't ever a time where I was like excluded from like working out with them. They're like, oh no, come on, Chloe, or like they would show me how to do things or give me advice or points, or it's like because I don't necessarily always like to go to Marco because I'm really not like a member. Even though I know you would obviously give me help and I can ask for it, I don't really like to bother him because he could be helping members who actually pay to be here. I'm just there to just work out for fun. But these members don't have to, step in to help me, yet they do. And it, like the other day, Audrey was helping me with front squats, which I've never done before. And like I was struggling with my hand position at first because I don't have like a lot of elbow mobility. So this position wasn't working for me, but she showed me how to go like that instead, so that helped. So that's just what I'm saying. Like they'll just come up to me and give me points, and it's like it's nice to have that. And it's not like a rude type of way that's like you're wrong, like ew, like fix it. Like at gyms, like sometimes people would be like you're doing that wrong, or like, and that is not my vibe.
Yeah. I don't think it's most people's vibes.
No. Thankfully, I've never had to experience rude people. But it's hard for people to even interact. Everyone's in their earphones, headphones, in their zone. So that was also the thing I liked coming to the classes, is people are always willing to help. I know I was struggling with a couple of stuff, and the girls were always willing to like, oh, you can do this, if you want to like a little bit help or all that good stuff. I know it can be a little hard to manage everyone in a class, so it's good that there's that camaraderie between people.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's 100% my favorite part of it. I don't think I would enjoy my job as much if people weren't as easygoing here. But anyway, we're kind of coming toward the end where we would usually do either a commercial break or call the episode a little short. So any closing statements before we take that little break and make that decision?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, in that case, I know you got to get out of here. So we're going to go ahead and call the episode short right there, you guys. Thank you for listening to the CrossFit Madera podcast. This has been Coach Marco,
Chloe,
Lupe,
and we'll see you guys next time at the gym.